Big changes are coming to dual credit. Maybe. Kindergarten signings, what does that mean? We took a look at kindness around middle schools, and we reviewed the Cougars hockey team. Hi, I'm Jason Lopez Martinez, and you're watching Eagle Zone. There's been a fight between schools across the state when it comes to dual credit. With dual credit, kids earn high school and college credit while earning college classes, and the state helps pay for the bill. But how much high school credit should a student earn for a college class? That's where the fight comes in. Eagle Zone's Maria Vrooman joins us to explain. Maria?
Right now, local school districts decide how many high school credits their students in dual credit college classes should earn. But last year, state lawmakers decided that all schools across the state should use the same ratio. So the Department of Education has been working to come up with what that ratio should be. It comes forward with a couple plans, but neither has passed all the hurdles. The sticking point is with the typical 3-credit college class. Some schools want to offer a full high school credit for those classes. Others want to offer a half a credit. The plan that made it the furthest is one opposed by the Aberdeen School District. Juniors and seniors at Aberdeen Central High School get a full high school credit when they take a 3-credit college class. Any of those students taking dual credit next year will still get that full credit, but this year's sophomore class and below might get only a half credit for those same classes in the future.
I don't want it to change to half a credit because it doesn't work for the way our school is laid out.
When lawmakers decided all schools needed to offer the same credit ratio, about half the schools in the state gave kids a half high school credit for a typical college class. About half gave a full credit. They tasked the Department of Education with passing a ratio for all schools in the state to use. At first, the department recommended a 3-to-1 ratio, but some opposed that. Leaders from the Education Department reached out to schools and formed a group with a mix of administrators who offered 1 credit and half credit.
So I thought we had a pretty good representation there. We did then meet over a Zoom meeting, and we had a proposed compromise, which was the one that came out of that meeting. Now, 8 of the 10 districts were on board.
But Central Principal Jason Adamark is one of the 8 who voted in favor of that plan. Adamark then testified, saying he regretted that vote and now opposes the plan, calling it bad for Aberdeen Central students. In it, students who take 4-credit college class can earn a full high school credit, but the far more common 3-credit class only earns a half a credit.
So the rule change would actually make them go above and beyond, our students go well above and beyond what the state content standards say they need. Mm-hmm. That's very unfair. That's one of the things I testified for. That's just not fair.
Adamark argues that the 3-to-1 ratio is fair because of the content they're covering. Kids in high school U.S. history class, for an example, get a credit. So kids covering that same content in a 3-credit college class should also get a full credit. Terry Nebelsick chaired the South Dakota Board of Education Standards and said lawmakers had given the Education Department an impossible task.
We, the board, did not create the statute. And so we, the board, are faced with trying to comply with the statute and be as fair as we can to everyone involved.
A majority of the board members voted in favor of that plan to give half credit for a 3-credit college class. Supporters of the idea cite different reasons, one being that the content doesn't always match in high school and college classes.
That's been kind of the issue for a lot of the districts, that they didn't feel that perhaps the college course, whether it was maybe, English, that it maybe didn't include both literature and composition as did theirs. So I know that's a concern across some districts.
Also, more students in South Dakota currently earn a half high school credit for dual credit class. In fact, it's about 3,000 compared to 1,700, according to the Education Department. And then there are school schedules. Those with the traditional 7 or 8 period days may find the half credit ratio fitting their school schedules better. Schools like Aberdeen with 4 blocks a day may find the 1 credit option better. Regardless of your opinion, now is the time for you to weigh in as the state legislative session starts.
To reach out to our state legislators, not just the ones here, but as many as you can across the state, and make your points very well known to them, that this is important to us.
Here's why Adamark is asking you to do that. Lawmakers are considering a new bill during this session that will get rid of the requirement that all schools across the state have the same ratio for dual credit classes. That's Senate Bill 2, and it's introduced by a senator that represents Aberdeen. Udmark says that that's what he's actually wanted all along, but if it needs to be the same across the state, that's when he supports the 3-to-1 ratio.
Thanks, Maria. The legislative session is going on right now. We'll follow Senate Bill 2 and share updates as they happen. The Ford Club at Central is selling formal clothing it's been collecting. That sale will be this month in the Central High School Commons from 5 to 7. The dates it will be open are the 10th, 12th, 16th, and 18th. The group has dresses, suits, dress shirts, dress pants, ties, and shoes, accepts cash and Venmo. If you have a kid going into kindergarten next year, it's time to sign up for school, and you might as well have some fun with that. Mark your calendars for Monday, the 15th. Eagles On's Courtney Thorstensen talked with an organizer and a preschooler about a big event happening that day. Courtney?
The elementary schools are having a special event for families to sign up for kindergarten. Can you tell me something that you're excited for about kindergarten?
The signing day.
The signing day? Anything else?
They said that there was gonna be bouncy houses.
That's right. Parents can sign kids up for kindergarten on Monday the 15th at Simmons Middle School. In addition to bouncy houses, there will be prizes, a picture, and a free t-shirt.
What school are you going to?
Maybe CC Lee.
Okay, CC Lee. Cool.
That's where my sister goes.
A family connection. Well, you can still sign up for kindergarten without going to the signing day, but Lincoln Elementary Principal Tasha Gatzmeyer says it'll be a lot of fun.
And to really set the tone for establishing that great family and school connection.
Do you know if your parents are excited for the signing day?
I don't know.
Well, their job is more boring. They need 3 pieces of paperwork, including the birth certificate, proof of address, and immunization records.
The event should help parents feel more relaxed heading into the school year. It can be a little bit of a daunting time to see your child go off to kindergarten, so we hope to ease a little bit of that hesitation.
And signing up for kindergarten is an important first step to continue learning what you will need for the rest of your life. Think you're going to learn how to read?
Because I already know how to spell it.
I couldn't have spelled it when I was in preschool, but that reminds me that there's a screening day on signing day too. Jason, I have a feeling that little Lucy will do just fine.
I agree, Courtney. And shout out to Schaffhauser's daughter. You are like so adorable, man. If you missed any of the details, here they are again. The signing day is from 1 to 7 at Monday the 15th at Simmons Middle School. Parents, bring your child's birth certificate, shot records, and proof of address. Aberdeen schools are seeing acts of kindness grow. Friends of Rachel visited Aberdeen in the fall. The organization promotes kindness and compassion as it honors Rachel Scott, a student who died in the Columbine shooting. It wants to see a chain reaction of positive behavior. At the middle schools, a few groups are part of that chain. At Simmons, the 8th graders in the Golden Crew help younger students in the school, and the Ford Club has kindness charts. At Holgate, you'll find feathers on the lockers recognizing students for their kind acts. Eagles On's Alec Baltimore visited both schools to hear about their efforts.
This year in the middle schools, a new program has been introduced. Ford Club was brought into these schools recently. Here's how both are contributing.
We started Friends of Rachel right at the beginning of the year. I think our assembly was the second week of the school year, and we got going on it right away. So we meet every other Tuesday during homeroom and do different types of activities to look for kindness in the school, to spread kindness in the school, and those types of things, just to keep things positive around here.
Any and all acts of kindness are important.
A lot of times recognizing little things, maybe starts a snowball effect, and maybe just the ability to be, hey, I was recognized for being polite, or I was recognized for helping someone pick up some papers. Maybe it'll encourage people to just become habit and do kind things as a habit.
Even though these students and staff participate out of the kindness of their hearts, it may have a reward still.
This is the eagle that we hand out every week to one pair of people, someone that got nominated and someone who nominated the person.
Oftentimes, people just want the help and support that come with these acts.
Because we wanted to do something that kind of integrated our 8th graders in with some of the younger students, either the ones that were about to come into our building or like the 6th grade students that were already here.
Both schools have their own ways of participating in Ford Club, and both ways count just as much as the other. Kindness can go a long way. Be kind.
Thanks, Alec. I hope to see some random acts of kindness in the hallways. We'll be right back after these messages created by video production students.
Yeah, I'm fine. You're really fast, too.
Yeah, just look both ways next time. Alright, help someone else. Here's your ball.
Thank you.
Welcome back. From basketball to hockey, Eagle Zone's Tristan Cunningham discusses this week's sports. Tristan?
It's a busy stretch for sports teams. Boys and girls basketball teams have hosted games since our last show. We'll start with the boys in their game against Sioux Falls, Washington. In the first quarter, Camden falls with a bounce to Grants Fritz. In the paint, the senior gets two drops. Still, in first, the Golden Eagles on defense when Parker Lamar gets to steal and brings the ball all the way down for the breakaway, adding 2 more for Aberdeen. Ahead to the third quarter, Floth finds Jet Collison on the wing, and the senior gets 3 to drop, but the Eagles fall short, dropping this game to Washington. On the girls' side, the Eagles host Sioux Falls Lincoln in the first. Kaylee Donut passes the ball down to Taryn Hermanson and gets the sophomore 2 for Aberdeen. Still in the first, Taylor Wake spins the ball to the top of the key where she finds Katie Withers, who gets a 3 to drop. Now, in the second quarter, the Eagles work the ball around. Like kicks it down to Lauren Buckhart, who gets the dropper to drop. The Eagle girls go on to defeat Lincoln. We're in the middle of the winter season, which means hockey. Eagle Zone's Toon Lin Yang looks at the Cougars hockey season. Toon?
The hockey season starts in October and ends in March. As the season for hockey starts off, the team is hoping to return to state tournament again. This is just the process of getting there.
The goal is to win games by the end of the season, so I think it's just to build all season so that come, state tournament time in March, we can get the job done and hopefully come home with a trophy.
Jeremy Backus is the Cougars boys varsity hockey coach.
I really think we have a good possibility of being a top 4 team. I think we have the talent and the depth to get there, but it's a long season and we have to work to achieve that.
Senior Brady Huff, a captain on the team, wants to see the success and this season personally and team-wide.
Pucks for sure, and put some pucks in the back of the net.
Backus has a team goal to limit opponents to 23 shots on goal or less. At the same time, he wants his team to get 30 shots or more.
I remind the kids that not even a mosquito gets a pat on the back till he starts working. So come every day to work and get better, and we'll see where this team can go.
The state tournament for the boys varsity will be held on March 8th through the 10th.
Thanks, Toon. If you're interested in watching the Cougars play, they play at the OD Ice Arena. You can check out their schedule online. Jason?
Thanks, Tristan. Before we end this episode, I want to give a big shout out to Jack Eask, Gage Jaworski, Mason DeGeese, Jay Gasky, and Kyan Johnson. I know I promised you a couple months ago, but hey, at least I have this show to myself this week. That's all for this episode of Eagle Zone. You can always watch our stories whenever you want by scrolling down to the Eagle Zone section of the school district website. That's aberdeen.k12.sd.us. We leave you this week with footage of the girls' basketball game against Sioux Falls Lincoln, featuring my shaky hands. With Eagle Zone, it's your boy, Jason Lopez Martinez. We'll see you next week.